We're now at the North Carolina Memorial. This is an ideal location to get a feel for the terrain and distances that Lee's army would face over the next 2 days of battle. By the time fighting renewed on the second day, Lee's army, now less than 75,000 strong, would face 85,000 Union troops commanded by General George Meade. From end to end, the Union line stretched over 3 miles in length and resembled the shape of a fishhook. The tip or barb of the hook started at Culp's Hill, located to the right of the Green Water Tower, visible to your left in the distance. From there, the Union line curved around Cemetery Hill, where we started our tour, and extended straight south along Cemetery Ridge, identified today by the long row of monuments directly across the valley. The eye of the hook was at the hills known at the time as the Round Tops. This fishhook formation gave the Union a decided advantage. Using the short interior lines that the hook provided, General Meade could quickly and efficiently shift his reserve forces and other supports to strengthen his defenses at any point along the Union line. General Lee, on the other hand, was forced to move his troops around the outer edges of the fishhook, a distance of 6 miles from end to end. Such maneuvers cost significant time and energy to complete, 2 things Lee was growing short on. Over the course of the next 2 days, the superior position of the Union Army extracted a heavy toll on Lee's army. The Confederate state that paid the highest price here at Gettysburg was also the last one to secede from the Union, North Carolina. When the 3 days of fighting had concluded, 1 out of every 4 Confederate casualties hailed from the Tar Heel state. Some regiments, like the 26th North Carolina, were decimated, losing some 687 of its original 840 soldiers. One story in particular that illustrates the courage commemorated by the North Carolina Memorial was the actions of Color Sergeant William F. Fawcett of Company E, 13th North Carolina Infantry Regiment. During the final stand of the Union Army at the Lutheran Theological Seminary on July 1st, Fawcett and his regiment attacked the Union line in the face of many artillery batteries and troops along Seminary Ridge. Bearing the battle flag, Fawcett was critically wounded in the right arm by a shell fragment. With the bloody limb dangling at his side, Fawcett simply grabbed the flag with his other hand and continued forward in the attack. This brave Confederate soldier eventually fell into the hands of his enemy. Later, a Federal surgeon amputated his lower arm, and he survived the war. Today, the remains of his limb are in the National Museum of Health and Medicine on the grounds of the Walter Reed Hospital. The North Carolina Memorial stands as a tribute to the bravery and sacrifice suffered by all the men of North Carolina, like Sergeant Fawcett. It was sculpted by Gutzon Borgle, the same man who sculpted the president's faces on the side of Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. It was placed here in 1929, the second Confederate state memorial to grace the battlefield.